it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. Alright, I have some video footage of my craft shows. Some of you were asking, you know, my prices, and I said, well, I'll do a video on my setup. So they're over. The first portion of the video is the first show I did. And then the second portion is the second show I did because I wanted to show you a different setup. And then I talk about all of that in the video and the pricing. So I'm going to get that started, and then I will come back and I will give you my thoughts on craft shows. So here we go. Okay, everyone, here I am at my craft show. We're just getting finishing touches. So these are my large composition for spiral notebooks, and as you can see, those sell for $11 each. These are my small spiral notebooks, and they're either composition or the spiral. I don't have any comp right now, but these sell for $6. My journals range anywhere from $25, like this one is $25, my travel journal is $25. I'm selling my recipe keeper for $45. This is one of the design team projects with Create with Scrimping Mommy, and I'm doing that for $45. This is one I did from Scrimping Mommy. I'm selling that for $45. This has four actually quarterly journals. I do have a, if you check through all of my playlists, you'll probably see something that says design team projects. Anything I do from Create with Scrimping Mommy is going to be in there. Okay, this is just a little recipe stand that I made. This is also from Create with Scrimping Mommy's, one of her kits, and I'm selling that for $15. I have the little mini composition notebooks. I just have a few left. I didn't make any more because these don't go very well, but I'm selling them for $3. This is the coffee sleeve gift cards. You can actually put these in a CD envelope and sell them, or I mean ship them, but these are, a lot of them are made out of Carolyn's Musings papers. I do have a video on that. So check out I think that was Christmas gift treat 2024. Okay, so here are some pencil boxes. I sell these for $5. I won't be making any more. They're not a great seller. These are, I think I just did a video, so these are my clothespin magnets, and I have several different, and these are usually one of my best sellers. I usually end up with nothing left. I have a couple of the nugget treat packs. I don't do a whole lot of these. They're not a great seller. This is my tea pouch. I don't have my sign on there yet, but these go for $2.25. They're somewhat a good seller, not the best. These are my Reese's peanut butter cups. There are inside of these. I have done a video, or I'm doing a video in my new series, which will come out November. So in November, I'll be using all of Carolyn's Musings papers, and I'll do one on Sunday, one Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. I have 8 projects ready to go. So these I sell for $2.25. And then these are my hot cocoa packs, and there's a video coming out on that. These I sell for $2.25. These are my Ghirardelli and coffee, Keurig coffee cups. Each one of these boxes contain this. There's a video coming, and I did a video last year. Check the 2024 series, and I sell those for $6. And then these are something new. These are from Miss Carolyn's chip bags, and I only have a few, and I don't have them sealed up because there's different items. I did a video, so check out that. I did a video on all the things that you can put inside these chip box bags, and I'm going to be selling those for $5 each. I don't have a sign yet, but $5 each. Super, super cute. And then if we come over here, these are my gift card holders. So I have a variety. They're either a gift card or a money. So you could either do this. I believe there is a video in last year's series. And then what you do is you can put your gift card in here. They come with an envelope, and then you can mail them or you can hang them on your Christmas tree. These right here are actually, oh, I've lost the, inside of these, I've put a gift certificate, but you can put money in there too. And those are selling for $3. I just do all for $3, makes it much easier. And then last but not least, the York treat pouches. Those are for $2.25. Video coming on that in my series. And then I always try to promote, this one says great stocking stuffer. And I always try to promote Christmas. I'm wearing something Christmassy today. Great stocking stuffer. So I talk to everybody who comes to my booth, give them ideas for what they can do. And some of it just, the customers I have, they're repeat and they know what I have. They just come for it. So I will give my thoughts on this after I'm home. I have one more show to go to, and my setup's a little bit different. This is a nice clean line, but I do an L shape when I'm going to my next one. So I'm going to do that one, finish this video, and give you my thoughts on craft shows. So we'll see you in the next one, or I'll see you in a minute. You'll see me in a minute. Bye. All right, I wanted to throw this one in here because this is my ideal setup. And I wanted to show you some things, like I have signs that say great stocking stuffers. I have, you know, just things that will entice people, like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. I think signage is everything, and I think it should be neat and clean. I do everything on my computer, but this is usually my ideal setup. I like it to be an L. So when you walk into it, you're walking into a booth or a boutique. I've had people tell me that, like, oh, I feel like I'm walking into a boutique. I don't have a lot of product at this show because I did really well at my first show. But I just wanted to show you this setup. This is how I really like to have my tables. So there's that. Okay. So I just have these sitting on my desk as some pretties while I'm chit-chatting with you for a minute. Apparently, I've done a video on these and all the things that you can put inside of them. And apparently, people aren't as obsessed as I am with them because I didn't sell any. But that's okay because I'm going to be using these for treats for maybe some family members. Depending if they've been naughty or nice. No. So I have that, and I'll just have that sitting here, and I'll try to keep my hands like from swinging all over the place. I talk with my hands, so. All right, so first of all, let's just talk about before you get started in crafting. So what I did was I did a lot of research on videos, and one of them, I couldn't find it, but it was early on, I mean maybe 7 years ago, that I watched one from May Made It. If I can find it, I will link it, but she gave some really good tips about starting in your craft show journey. I watched some other ones. Now, when you do a search, you're going to find like 10 things to do, 10 things not to do, and, you know, go ahead and watch them. But some of them I thought for me were a little like, you know, you're not, it's scary. And so here's the thoughts that I've gathered. So that's the first thing I want to talk about is go watch some videos to get started. So number 2 would be your product. Okay, when I first started, I did a lot of everything, okay? You kind of have to do a lot of everything to see what is it people are interested in. I found out very quickly things that didn't work so well, but I didn't just trash them on the first show. I took them to a second show. I took them to a third show. And when I first started doing shows, I did maybe 4 a year. And I narrowed down what people were gravitating to, okay? So think about your product and think about the stasis of your product. As I evolved and got into different things, my journals became the centerpiece of my craft shows. But I wanted fillers. So that's where came in the hot cocoa packs. I was doing all that in the beginning, but like I said, I started wiping things out, and then I started focusing on the things that people were like, oh, stocking stuffers, things they were gravitating to. So I would go ahead and think about your product and do what you love and focus on the one thing that is you. For me right now, it is my journals. All right, number 3, pricing and tags. Pricing varies to different areas. I'm in a very rural area. I do this for fun. I'm not making gads of money. I enjoy my craft and I needed an outlet. What am I going to do with all this stuff? I love to make it. What am I going to do with all this stuff? Oh, craft shows. So I don't ever go there thinking I'm going to become a rich woman. That's not going to happen. I usually make enough to buy myself a toy I want, for my craft room. For me, it's not a lot of money involved, and I don't do a lot of craft shows. But if you are someone who's gonna commit and dedicate yourself to every Saturday, Sunday, Fridays, whatever these craft shows are, then go for it and make sure you have a lot of product and a lot of things for people to look at. But for me, it's just an outlet. So when I'm pricing, I make sure for my area, this is just me, I'm sure in other areas I could get more, but I keep my prices low. I keep my prices low because of the area I'm in. I want people to be able to get affordable gifts to put in a stocking, to give to their, aunts or in the nursing home, or grandma, or just someone who's sick, someone who's a shut-in, someone that they can just grab a quick little, $2.25, $3, $5 gift and show their appreciation to someone. That's really what I'm all about. But if you're in it for the money, then in your area, you have to determine what can people afford. I'm in a very rural area, and I don't go to big cities and stuff. Down in bigger cities, yes, I could charge more or what's appropriate for my product, but I try to keep them low. Okay, your tag. So tags, as you saw in my tables, your visuals are everything. So I just go into my Word document, I create different signage, pricing, and I print everything out. I cut it. As you could see, I had it glued to the back of my dyed clothespins. You want to make it look really nice. You want it to be very clear about what you're selling, how much it is. People, if you don't have prices on there, people aren't going to ask you. And if they know, they can either walk by or they will stop and be like, oh, $2.25 for a hot cocoa pack? Oh, that makes a great gift. So make sure your signage is crisp and clean and readable. Don't do handwritten. No. Make sure you don't have to go to some printing company. Get on your computer, get on your Cricut, get your stencils out, whatever it takes, but make your signs look nice. I also have signs. I don't think you could actually see it in the footage because I didn't pan up enough, but I'll have like great stocking stuffers. I'll have things that will give people an idea. Oh, yeah, that could go on a stocking. That's great. So make sure that your tags and signage is crisp and clean. All right, so another, let's see, we're on number 3. So number 4 is your setup. As you could see in the first video, my setup was a cross. Now that's just because that's the tables that were provided by the place I was going to the craft show. I just said I needed 2 tables, and then they set them up the way they set them up. So, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But the second one that I went to is in a gym, and I have a 10 by 10 space, so I can set my tables up the way I want. So as you could see, I love the L shape is nicer. I've had people tell me, oh, I feel like I just walked into a booth or a boutique. But now in the second setup, I just didn't have a lot of product. I did really well at my first show. And we're going to get into the second show a little bit. So setup to me is very important. If I were doing a spring show, I would have springy tablecloths. I would change my signage from red to yellow, or, you know, some springy colors. If I was doing just a fall show, which normally I just do more Christmas because I try to get people in that mindset. But I would change up my tablecloths and the way my booth looked. I want it to be inviting. So make sure your setup is appealing. Another thing for setup is, you could see I had things when I first started. My first setup was flat. Everything the boxes my husband made, and they're designed so that they have little slats that go in them, and I can take them slats out. I can put them in the box, put my product in the box, stack my boxes, and then off we go to get it there and to get it home. Recently, he just made me the bookshelf, so that was nice. But everything was flat, and people really couldn't see what I had. So I started to move up. So I went back to my husband. I said, hey, I need these, you know, shelves that I can tear down but put back together. And so he made those for me. And of course, you could see I had a lot of things that were up. So think up. Think of building up so people can look in instead of just having to lean over the table to look down. Okay, so let's see. We've got that. That's the setup. And I talked about displays. So that was number 5. That was what I could think of right now. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the product that you saw in the video. First of all, I want to talk about the clothespins. So I said that my clothespin magnets were one of my best sellers. They are one of my best sellers. I did some Christmas ones this year, but normally if I stick with a neutral or a general, people will gravitate to that more. Or a sewing. I had a sewing theme because that's a great gift. Buttons, if I keep with just sort of a cool, modern, neutral, that's what they go for. But I took 9 of them to the shows, and I sold, let's see, I sold 7 of them. I only brought 2 back, and they were Christmas theme. But I'll bet if I had a different theme, that I would have probably not had any of them left. The tea treat bags, now I had said that they weren't one of my best sellers, but for some strange reason in the first show, most of this went in the first show, I sold every tea bag that I had, and I didn't make any more because I was like, you know, these just aren't going, but people must be getting into tea. I don't know, but they all sold, and I wished I would have had more. The Reese's peanut butter cups that were in the little boxes, they weren't a good seller this year. Now, that's a hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. The hot cocos packs, they didn't do as well, which is odd because I usually sell a lot of them. I don't know if people have been to my booth before, they've done this gift before. That could factor in. Everything could factor in as to why you're not selling. Is it stale? Because a lot of times I take the hot cocoa out, put my pack my hot cocoa packs away, and then put fresh hot cocoa in it for the following year. And maybe they've just seen the design before and they're like, yeah, you know, I've done that before. So I try to mix up the design. Think about that. Like, okay, if I've done all red and green, and I've done a certain design on the front, think about stepping that up a little bit with a different design. My Keurig Ghirardelli big ones that you saw on the shelf, they have 2 Keurig coffee and they have 2 Ghirardelli in them. Now those I just hate because they're a hit and miss. And I always keep in mind, okay, what if I don't sell any and I have all of these Keurig cups left? What, what am I going to do? So you think about your product. Like, I have all this product in here and it didn't sell. How much of that did I recoup? But I always try to keep in mind, I can use that because I have a Keurig. And so I can make myself a coffee here and there, and I'm going to be able to use that up, or I can give it away, or I can take it on my trips with me. So I'm never worried that that isn't going to get used and that that's a total loss. The Ghirardelli, again, I can use that in other little gift treats throughout the year. I always check my dates on anything that you are going to put and sell. Make sure that it doesn't expire. Like for this year, everything I looked at did not expire until like October of 2026. I'm like, good, they'll have plenty of time to eat it. I don't put expired food. I know some people are like, it's still good. No, for me, if it's expired, I'm not selling it. So keep conscious of that. Let's see. So the chip bags, these right here, I loved them. Apparently, people, like I said, or did I say, people aren't as obsessed with these as I apparently am, but I did not sell one. No big deal. These are going to get used. It's not a big deal. In fact, I'm making the Grinch. I think he's over. Hang on a second. I'm making the Grinch bag for all of my great-grandchildren. And so they're all going to get one of these with some sort of crunchy bite in them, Grinchy bite, according to their age, because I have some little, so I'll just do a package of fishy crackers. If you haven't seen this video where I show you all the wonderful things you can put in here, and these were from Miss Carolyn, Carolyn's Musings, I will link her information below. I'll link this particular one, and I'll link the video where I did these, but I am making these all for my great-grandchildren, so that'll be fun. Anyway, so these did not go quite as well. I thought everybody would be like, those are so awesome. I think if I just would have done them up and sold the bags, maybe like 50 cents a piece, where they could put their own things in. Plus, I need to do a little score tape right here so that once they get their thing in there, they can pull that off and then they can close it themselves. But I did take glue so I could close them up. My York peppermint patties that come in the video I just did with the little triangle treat thing, the York peppermint patties did not really go well either. Again, is it because people have seen this too much from me and I need to come up with some new and fresh ideas? I did use that same little packaging to put more of the hot tea packs in. I had more of the hot tea packs at home. And I thought, oh, I'll just put them in here with the little spoon, since people seem to gravitate towards those for my second show. Nope, those didn't go at all. So it's a hit and miss sometimes. Now, my second show was did not go very well. It was very, very low traffic. I normally see traffic there start about 10:30. I keep notes every year. So I go in, I write down, or in my little spreadsheet thing, I'll put what I took to the show, what I brought back, how many I sold, and then I make notes at the bottom. Good show, traffic started about 10, ended about 1, but this one, I don't know what it was. It could have been factors of a lot of things. It could have been people are just afraid to spend money right now. I don't know, but we just did not have the foot traffic. Could also be there has been a lot of craft shows in my area, and they're popping up everywhere, and just about every weekend there's 2 or 3 craft shows that people could go to. So if you're going in the same radius area with your crafts, and that person came to this craft show and then they come back to this craft show and you have the same stuff, they're probably going to walk by your booth, okay? So don't get discouraged over that. They've just already stopped at your booth before. And if you've not replenished, which I didn't have time to do anything, I sold a lot of my, I sold 3 or 4 of my big composition books. I sold a lot of my spiral notebooks that I do. And so there were things that went in the first show, but I did not have time to replenish for the second show. I had no idea that, 14 books were gonna almost sell out. So anyway, if you can't replace that for another show that might be within 20 miles of the show you just did, people may walk by your booth. There could be lots of other factors. So I guess my final thoughts would be, don't get discouraged. You can watch a ton of videos of people telling you what to do or how to do, but you have to experience it and tweak it and know kind of what people are looking for. And then another thing that I've done is I got rid of a lot of things that didn't go. I like to make them, but they weren't selling, so they can't just hang around my house. Also, I got rid of a lot of shows that I don't do well at. I don't do spring shows because what I do is a Christmas craft. I've tried all of these types of things that I've done in spring decor for Easter. I've even done shows that were the weekend before Easter. And no, people just were not interested. I made no money. I had a lot of product left. And I'm like, I won't do spring shows anymore. I don't do summer shows. I don't have what people are looking for. Maybe you do. So don't let that count you out. I just don't have what they're looking for. All right. So my final thoughts. Let's bring this guy back in here. I hope this video is not too long. It probably will be because I've jammered on. My final thoughts on craft shows is give it a try, see what you can do. If you don't like it, you're not bound to go back and do anything. But I would say the last and most important step in doing any craft show is, are you a people person? Do you like people? I love people. I love talking with people. I love engaging with people. Whether they buy from me or not, I thank them. I try to get on my Facebook, Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures Facebook page. I thank them for stopping by, whether it was to chit chat, to browse, to buy. It doesn't matter. I want to engage them, say hi. I don't just sit behind the table because they can't see me and I'm just like, I peek my head over my display. Hi, no, I get out, I talk to them. I ask them, if you have any questions, please let me know. But I try not to hover either because people don't want you hovering over them like, ooh, you gonna buy? You gonna buy? No, don't do that. If they have a question or they're looking at something, you can go and explain it. Like I've explained a little bit of what I did with the bags and stuff. But if you're not a people person, it's probably not for you. You can try, but be engaging with your customers. I came from a retail background. I have a high school education. I worked in retail for probably 17 years of my life. And so my job was to engage the customer and sell. And I liked being with the customers and getting to know them. And I have my repeat customers and, you come back and you're like, oh, hey, nice to see you again. So be a people person, engage with your shopper, and thank them whether they buy from you or not. Now, you're going to get the ones that are like, ooh, I can make that. I can make that. Truthfully, haven't we all done that? I've done that. Like, I'm not going to buy that. I can make that. And we've gotten ideas from Pinterest, from craft shows, from YouTubers, from other places. We've gotten our ideas too. You know what? I'm flattered. I'm flattered that you saw something I did and you now want to make it. Go for it. And I tell them, I have a YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. You can check out all this stuff and you can make it. My sister said something once that I always has stuck in my head. So, Lisa, if you see this, thank you. She said, I don't paint, but I can write a check. And I just thought that was brilliant because some people are going to walk by your booth and they're going to be like, oh, I don't craft, but I can write a check. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You're going to have your people who will take your idea and run with it, and you're going to have your people like, no, I don't do any of that. I'm going to buy from you. I hope this was helpful, and I am thanking you for tuning in. And then my next video, I have a flip through of a journal I just got done from Miss Carolyn. So that's going to be coming soon. All right, and don't forget, on Thursday, I have another video coming out of another little project I made for my craft show. Okay, enough babbling. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye. I had to come back real quick. I'll make it short because as I was editing the video, I was like, there's one important thing I think I left out. Dress for the occasion. I put makeup on, I put my jewelry on, I wear Christmassy type clothing to try to get people in the mood. But I dress for the occasion. I dress as if I'm going to work and I want to look nice for that customer. So dress for the occasion. Do your hair, do your makeup, put your jewelry on, and look nice. If this is going to be a job for you, look nice at your job.